There was a 5-goal thriller at Ewood Park, and Blackburn Rovers were on the winning side. I should be over the moon with that result, but I'm not. I'll tell you why next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time we're picking apart Blackburn's return to Championship football up against Barnsley. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We're going to all here under Warowski. It is just about midnight here over in the USA as we get ready to look into Sunday morning. So I thought I'd get my review. I've had a long time to sit and chew about this one. So let's get going. So 3-2 victors we were at Ewood Park. 5-goal bonanza. 13,781 fans were in attendance to see Rovers coming out top with the 3 points. First half display, okay, as halves go. Wasn't brilliant, wasn't terrible, but it was a little flat. But we scored the one and only goal of that first half. It was Bradley Dack with a 24th minute strike. Or effort, should I say. So 1-0 we went into half-time. I thought, you know what, if we can get a second goal, we should be home and dry. Maybe we can open up the floodgates and get maybe 4 perhaps. But no, Barnsley stepped up the pace under new management, Gerhard Struber. They made it 1-1, not through Charlie Chaplin, but Connor Chaplin made it 1-1 straight after half-time. So it was game on. And you know what, I thought this could be a little bit of a tricky one, and it did prove to be that. Fortunately for us, we did manage to claw our way back. Stuart Downing, which was a substitute by the gaffer, which was positive. We did see his substitutes come into full effect yesterday, and he actually Stuart Downing got the sort of goal that can turn this game back around on the 69th minute, a long range strike after a great bit of build up by Joe Rothwell. So 2-1 again, home and dry. You would thought the performance wasn't great, but you know what, we could still finish with a couple of goals as well. But no, up steps Cauley Woodrow, a man scoring for fun in this level. 2-2, 8 minutes to go. You know what? They call it cloppage time in the Premier League. We're going to have to call it, what can we call it? What can we call it? Tony time. Tea time, Tony time. That's what it is. Up steps Bradley Dack 4 minutes from the end to give us the 3rd goal for Rovers and 3 valuable points. In a game, if I'm completely honest, we did not deserve any single... And nothing. I think a point would have been daylight robbery. 3 was a hit and run. I can't believe we walked away with it. We should have walked away with it. But to be honest with you, this was a game that I expected us to dominate from start to finish. And I was hoping that we would put up a Barnsley. A 3-0 would have been a good result in the end, I think, prior to kick-off. But it was an absolutely toothless display. No passion, no desire. What's going on at Ewood Park? That's the question that's lying deep in the underbelly here. We just don't know. Apparently there was arguing, bickering and all this kind of stuff. Holtby moaning at his getting substituted. No celebrations after the goals between the players. It seemed it seems very problematic at Ewood Park at the moment, and I just don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's break down the numbers, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. So total shots, Barnsley, 16 shots to Rovers, 9. They actually dominated possession as well, 61% compared to our 39 at Ewood Park. And we are not the bottom club of the Championship. That is Barnsley. I want to stress that. They did have better successes with their passes as well. 75% of all the intended passes reached their target. We were more successful with dribbles and in the aerial battles as well. More corners for Barnsley as well, and they were more deadly with their tackles. Now, I want to stress about the shots. Barnsley are one of the top 5 clubs with shots per game, so that's no difference. So people should calm down a little bit with those numbers. As for Rovers, 9 shots, it's not too bad number for us because we are quite low on the pecking order in regards to shots per game. So anyway, obviously Christian Walton between sticks. He always is. There's no other competition for a goalkeeping jersey with it. Ewood Park. That's an area of concern for me. Bell was at left back. Return of Darrell Lennon, which is good to see. Tonson Manabarayo and Elliot Bennett at the back 4. Travis and Holtby got the sort of holding midfield spots, all the defensive midfield spots. Dack, Armstrong, Rothwell and Gallagher leading the line. On paper, that quartet up there should be creating goals, or creating chances and scoring goals. And today, they looked very dull. Bradley Dack excluding in this one. Obviously, Bradley Dack does what he does, scores goals, and he was on tip-top form today. In fact, let's take a look at the match ratings for Rovers this past
match day. Wotton with a 5, Bell with a 5 as well, Lennon with a 6, Thompson Adamari with a 6 as well, Bennett with a 7. I thought he was very good despite our the sort of blandness within the field. And maybe it could be down to the midfield display between Travis and Holtby. They just lacked desire and the right sort of direction moving forward. It just seemed very stagnant and very bland and very boring. It just was not what I was expecting when I first saw those two names on the team sheet. Dack was his ever best, obviously 8 out of 10 for him. 2 goals, you can't complain. He was trying to create things, and as he does. Armstrong with a 5 offered very little. Joe Rothwell with a 6. He did offer some stuff, and then 2 or 3 of our best efforts came through Joe Rothwell, so it might be a little bit harsh on him with a 6, and Gallagher with a 4 as well. Brereton was available on the bench, but unfortunately could not get the minutes under his belt. Hopefully we'll see him on Wednesday, but it was just a terrible, mind-numbing performance by Rovers. Let's take a look at Barnsley before we get into this bit more detail. Collins between sticks, Diaby, Anderson and Williams, Mount, Barre, Holm, Brown and Sibic, Woodrow and Schmidt up top. Woodrow is scoring goals for fun, and he just got himself an extra one today. Quick look at some more stats and details for you. More touches for Barnsley as well. 725 compared to Rovers 552. They also had more passes than us, 545 compared to our 353. Down the bottom there, you can see the shots that were taking place, whereabouts they were fired off. They actually had 16 shots, 6 on target, 5 were blocked. As for Rovers, 9 shots, just the 5 on target. So it's not a bad ratio as well. 1 off target, 3 goals as well for Rovers, obviously, which is that's what gave us the 3 points. But Barnsley, you know what? I'm going to give him a bit of credit. New manager and all that. Unfortunately, no new manager bounce in this scenario. But if they play like they did today, were they that good or were we that bad? I feel that we were that bad, considering we were at home up against the bottom club in the Championship. You should fancy your chances. Did they underestimate them? Perhaps. But Rovers are not playing good football at the moment. We are not. We scraped an absolute a fluke win, I'd say, up against Sheffield Wednesday the last time we were at home. We didn't perform against Leeds. We haven't performed against Birmingham. There's a lot of negativity, and the football is not being played at the right sort of passion at the moment. Rovers look stagnant. Is it Mowbray? I don't know. Something is not right. It doesn't feel right. But as long as the points keep on coming through, Mowbray will say it in a minute, but as long as the points keep coming through, then, there's no need to change or no need to rock the boat. But today, performance was below par massively. If we were to get a third party completely out of nowhere who has no idea who Barnsley are, no idea Blackburn Rovers are, we're telling them to sit down and watch the first 85 minutes of this match and to ask them who is the bottom club of the Championship out of these two teams, they would most doubtly say Blackburn Rovers. That was how poor we were, how decent Barnsley were. They weren't rip the roof off fantastic, but they were just better than Rovers on our own turf. It's an embarrassing situation. We've not really performed in the past 6 weeks, 2 months, to be honest with you. I think the start of the season was crap against Charlton, losing that game. We did step it up a little bit and picked up some results along the way to kind of get us within an exciting start to the season, but it's all kind of fallen off really in the months of October and really now in November. So things need to start to perk up. There is a chance for this whole little blur and little shit situation to kind of calm itself down. By this time next week, we would have played Brentford on Wednesday, and we would have played Stoke as well. If we pick up 9 points out of a possible 9, Mowbray's on a cruising for a manager of the month if he keeps that form up. But performances need to step up. Yeah. Would we all trade? Would we accept a performance like this week in, week out if it gets the points? I'm sure we would, but deep down, it's I've seen us play fantastic football and lose. Today we played absolutely shit football and we scraped a win. Somehow the winning goal was absolutely hideous. Make sure you check out the highlights as well. We'll talk more about the game in a bit more detail. Some more heat maps for you. Take a little look at that. So Rovers barely in the final third of Barnsley. That's how bad it was for us. Look how blue it isn't there. Whereas on Barnsley's touch map on the right hand side, they were all over the place. Alles über the Platz, as they say in Germany. Even Holtby would understand what I'm talking about. Barnsley with a better side today, clearly. Let's take a look at around the Championship right now. Of course, on Friday, Fulham picked up the 3 points with a 2-1 win against QPR. An early game against On Saturday, it was a 2-2 draw between Charlton and Cardiff. West Brom scraped a 2-1 win over Sheffield Wednesday to keep themselves top of the table. Preston slipped up against Derby at Pride Park. Our next opponents, Brentford, picked up a win against Reading 1-0 at home. Swansea lost to Millwall. Bristol City and Forest picked up a 0-0 draw. Huddersfield and Birmingham was a 1-1 draw. Stoke picked up a win as well, 2-1 against Wigan. And Luton could not hold on for anything against Leeds, as the High Flyers picked up a 2-1 win. Tomorrow will be Middlesbrough against Hull. Must-win game for Woodgate, or he could find himself in the job centre. Speaking of tomorrow, I should have my latest round of championship predictions, because next week is a double match week. I'm going to be live for those, possibly Sunday. It might roll on to Monday, I don't know, but I'm hoping it'll be Sunday, so make sure you pop round for that one. Meanwhile, what did the gaffer have to say about this match? Tony Mowbray had his own thoughts about the result and Rovers' performance at Ewood Park.
It was all about just getting 3 points. I think that's what we talked about, not about performance levels today. It was just about trying to get 3 points. I think it was a really dangerous game for us. You know, I've obviously watched 3 or 4 Barnsley games, and I'd have to say they're a pretty good team. I like the way they play. I think they're full of energy, youthful, play forward. I watched them 2-0 up at half-time against West Brom recently, and you know, so that's why I'm saying it's a dangerous game, because the perception is that they're bottom of the league and you have to beat the bottom of the league team, which we do, and we did. So everything else from the first whistle to the last doesn't matter. The score's there and only in the history books, and we'll put the points on the table and move on. Because it doesn't. You ain't getting a story off me today, I don't think. The story is that we won 3-2. Dack scored 2 goals. I love watching Dack when he gets wrapped up in it, like he did second half. Just working, running, going, playing where the ball is. Just plays like a kid in a playground, really. And he's got such natural talent. He scored his goals, and that was win the game. No, I said they're a good team. I've saw them 2-0 up at West Brom. I think they drew 2-2 with Bristol City. They're okay, and yet they haven't won now in 16 games, and yet I think they've got some pretty good footballers on their hands. I think maybe just their inexperience, their youthfulness. You know, the whole backline's 20 or 21, and I think that's what they're missing, because they've got some individually good, talented footballers, which is why it was a dangerous game for us, because we knew how good they could be at their best. Yeah, and they did all right today. They'll feel unlucky not to get anything from the match, but I'm sure they could say that probably a dozen times this season from the games I've watched, where they played pretty well and got nothing from it. Yeah, he scored a couple of weeks ago, I think, didn't he? Bradley's fine, as I said. We basically want him just to get wrapped up in the game. It's you know, at times we have to play, in my opinion, you have to play someone like Dack, who gets in the 6-yard box and scores goals, and yet plays like number 10, and yet we're trying to find the balance of Dack in this league where it's much more athletic than League One. It's very difficult for me to start Graham and Dack, because we can't get up the pitch. Because with total respect to Danny, he's not a sprinter. You could, as we do, we play Armstrong off the wide, but then we've only got one avenue of attack. So, and if you play Armstrong, Gallagher, Dack, Graham, you are asking a lot of the other 6 to do the job, and so there's a fine balance, and Bradley within all of that, as long as he scores goals and plays like he did today, then we can put up with that. Yeah, let's win points everywhere. I think we've won twice away from home this season. I think not just now. I think for 3 years nearly we have been pretty good at home and not lost many football matches. And that, you know, that's not any boast. That's fact. I think we've been pretty good for 3 years at home, and found a way to win games as we did today.
Meanwhile, I completely forgot about this. Obviously, after today's results, the table has reshaped itself a little bit. West Brom sit at top of the pops. Leeds are second. Preston are third. Fulham are fourth. Forest fifth. Swansea are now into sixth. Down the bottom, it's Barnsley, Middlesbrough and Stoke, who would go down if the season was to end today. Rovers are into 17th spot, a win away from 10th. That's how close it is to the mark. And speaking of next time out, these are the games that will take place midweek. Millwall against Wigan, Luton against Charlton, Huddersfield against Swansea, Fulham, Derby, Cardiff City against Stoke, Reading against Leeds, Middlesbrough against Barnsley, Sheffield Wednesday against Birmingham. The game of the week is really Rovers against Brentford, so we look forward to that one. Hull City against Preston, QPR against Nottingham Forest, and West Brom against Bristol City. So you heard what the gaffers had to say. What about the fans? What have they been saying on social media. They've not been happy. This is 2 Chaos 2. We were awful. Desperately need either Tony to make some new tactics or a new manager. 4-2-3-1 does not work. Very fortunate not to lose today. Nonetheless, 3 points up the Blues. Ben Bignell says, shameful, going life and death with the bottom team at home after 7 games without a win. Mowbray out now. Are you saying Barnsley are 7 games without a win? Because we did beat Sheffield Wednesday not too long ago, so I don't know about that. Spencer Gramashall said, we were seriously lucky today. 3 points is all that matters at the end of it. Hashtag Rovers. Andy Campbell said, we won, which is great, but we were tripe today. Our centre midfields were absent, and the worst team in the league looked better than us for big parts. We're going to be punished very hard by decent teams at home this year. We've already been caught out by Luton. We've already been caught out by Charlton, and we were very, very close to getting caught out by Barnsley today. Matt Southgate said this, that did not feel like a win, made Barnsley look like Barcelona. Rovers fan said this, always a banana skin with a new manager really, but should have battered them. Too sloppy again, as always, mate. Hope it changes soon. Marcus, Rovers to our die, said 3 points game, but the preference was really pathetic. We didn't deserve this win. Barnsley outplayed us at home. Dave Gresti said this, first smash at Ewood for a long time. It was absolutely awful. That's right. Nothing to celebrate. Mowbray is clueless. Atmosphere absolutely dead. Do something. Ben Smith said this. I like to think I'm a fair guy, but Tony Mowbray cannot motivate the team, it seems. The only reason we won today is because we have a decent team on paper. It looked like a school team where people were only interested when going forward. I know it's a gamble, but Tony Mowbray out. Hashtag Rovers. However, El Skipper, obviously Elliot Bennett, said this, though proud of my team today. Not a vintage performance, but all the more sweeter when we come out with 3 points in games like today. Dack's doing what he does best. You're kind of painting over the cracks there, Mr. Bennett. You're just trying to say, yeah, we have an amazing player on our hands, and that is his, and he goes by the name of Bradley Dack. We won't have him for very long, I'll tell you that. We're on borrowed time. He likes his face in the papers and on the TV, and he's bound to go to London one way or another, whether it's with West Ham, whether it's with Fulham, or whether it's with Watford or something like that. I don't know. We're going to be losing Dack because he can't stay at this level for much longer. It could go in January, you never know. Which would be a big investment for the club, perhaps, if we're gonna consider it, maybe 15-20 million pound reward, and that should, if something shit like that happens, go on defence, Tony, keeper, centre backs, right back, maybe even a new left back. Because if you're going to play Williams, you definitely need a new left back, because Amari Bell can't cut it. If you're not going to play Ryan Nyambe, I don't know why you're not going to play him. You should be playing Elliot Bennett. So if you're going to cash in on Bradley Daccarino, or if his hands are forced, sell him. Let's invest in the defence, because we are shit, absolutely shit, and we're not going to go anywhere but down. And I cannot have this. I cannot be facing League One again. It was fun the one and only time, but we cannot do this. On a rolling up and down season. We can't be a Millwall, we can't be a Rotherham, we can't be, even, no disrespect, a Barnsley. We cannot go back and forth between League One and the Championship. That is not us. And you've done wonders and getting us where we are, but you need to step it up a little bit. A response is needed. Maybe Elliot Bennett. He actually was one of the stronger players today. I'll give him that. But you play him square pegs in round holes. I don't like this. You should be sticking... If Nyambe's ill, fair dues. And then maybe Bennett should be in there. But Nyambe should be your right back. You made a gaffe with the goalkeeping situation by selling David Raya, who seems to be absolutely, doing bits for Brentford at the moment. One of the best keepers in the division, I've heard. And we've stuck with Walton, who can be very calamitous, and I'm not happy with it. We've only got him on loan. What happens when the rug gets pulled from our feet? He goes back to Brighton. We're stuck with no disrespect, Jason Lautweiler. We need a decent keeper, and I feel that our defence is weak. Much weaker than it was 12 months ago. So anyway, I'm still ranting. It is very late. I've got to get ready for the Brentford game as well, so I'm going to have to start preparing for that one. But anyway, folks, give me your thoughts, opinions about the game. I'm sorry that the video is so late, but just put the Christmas tree up. That's how we roll, baby. That's how we roll. Looking forward to Brentford, though. Hopefully, this was just a blip. First game back after the international break. Maybe, just maybe, we can turn it around and get another win and show David Raya what he's missing. And yeah, pick up the 3 points and make it a double win week. Anyway, folks, I'm going to let you get out of here. Make sure you smash that thumbs up if you are new, or even if you're not new, just smash it up there anyway. Give this video some loving. Get it out the old algorithm. Show them Brentford boys this is where it's all at. And also make sure you subscribe if you are new as well, especially if you're new. If you already subscribed, don't unsubscribe. Make sure you resubscribe. Anyway, make sure you check out the Twitch, because we were live with the Twitch watch along. It wasn't pretty, but if you want to recheck out the stream with the goals and all the drama, it's still available, and the link to that sucker's in the description below. I'm going to get out of it until I see you all again. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.